Hey researchers, what I'd like you to do is start out with a turn in talk. What are the positive and negative aspects of researching on the internet? Go ahead and chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up top. Awesome. I'm going to pause the video here to ask a couple of people to share. Go ahead and pause the video. Great. So we are back. Thank you to those of you who shared. So as we talked about, we know that the internet has a lot of helpful information on it. However, it is up to us as researchers to sift through that internet because there could be some fluff on there as well. So I'm going to pause this video so I can real quick switch over to somebody else's video that talks to you about safe internet browsing and about targeted internet browsing. So go ahead and pause this video. Press play when we're done. Excellent. So I'm hoping that that gives us some ideas about what we're going to be researching, how we're going to fine tune that, and how we make sure we find the information that will help us rather than distract us. So yesterday, I showed you my graphic organizer using my one text. Here's what I was able to fill in. I kept searching through books, and I see a lot of holes in my research. So what I want to do as a researcher today is target some of these empty holes. So I don't have to go in order. So I'm going to start with my mosses and my ferns. So I see that I don't have any adaptations filled in for this. So I'm going to target my first internet search with the adaptations of mosses. I'm going to focus on mosses in my temperate rainforest. So I'm going to head over to Google here. Here we go, wrong browser. And so I'm at google.com. And what I'm going to do is type in moss adaptations temperate forest. And I'm going to hit enter. Now, like the video showed, you're going to want to browse through some of these titles, look through some of the summaries. I like to look to see where some of my target words like moss are in bold. So I'm going to flip through. I don't really want a PDF today. Carpet moss. This one that I noticed focuses strictly on mosses. These ones are kind of general overviews. So let's see what this one says. Mosses are simple, rootless, evergreen plants, most often found covering the ground, growing on stream beds at the base of trees. Carpet moss grows in eastern North America and Europe. This is, I think, going to provide some quality information targeted towards my whole of mosses in the temperate forest. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a click. Let me start with this first paragraph, give it an uninterrupted read. Mosses are simple, rootless, evergreen plants. They can live in a wide variety of habitats, but are most often found covering the ground, growing on stream beds, and on the base of trees in deciduous woodlands. Carpet moss grows in eastern North America into Europe. Carpet moss, like its name, carpets the ground. In the spring, the carpet moss is golden green and turns dark green as it gets older. It looks almost velvety. Its leaves grow parallel to each other and taper off to a point at the end. The hedges of the leaves have long, narrow cells which grow in pairs and make the margins look serrated. Mosses originated from aquatic plants and still have a lot of things in common with them. Arctic moss actually survives the bitter cold of the Arctic by growing underwater. They absorb water through pores, which always stay open and require constant moisture. They don't have roots, stems, or leaves. They reproduce through spores and not through seeds. I love these last two sentences I hear. I had a quick summary and overview of this carpet moss, but down here it really started talking about the adaptations. So I know up here it says they don't have roots. So that again, down here, rootless plants, they absorb water through pores, because I know that usually roots are what absorb waters. These have adapted with their rootless plant by absorbing water through pores or tiny little holes that stay open. They don't have true roots, and they reproduce through spores, not through seeds. So a lot of plants, if an animal brushes by, the seeds will get stuck on them, or we plant seeds. That's not the case with these. They use spores. So that is some information I need to write down. So the first thing, how have they adapted to get water? Well, I know they're rootless, therefore they absorb water through their pores. That could also double. I want to wait to confirm it, but I'm making a prediction that would possibly double with their nutrients as well. That's how they get them, but I want to wait until I find that in an article. Other adaptation, this didn't really talk about nutrients, water, or energy, so it goes in my other category. They reproduce with spores, not with seeds. And I'm going to type, this is why I always want to write kind of small in my boxes so I can fill it in with a lot of info. You can see it kind of under here, under the camera, where I wrote blueplanetbiomes.org. So my goal today is, just as you watched me do, look for those holes in your graphic organizer. Where are you missing information? What do you need to still fill out? Target your Google search towards those holes. So for example, what I just showed you, moss adaptations, temperate forest. Notice that Google search is not a complete sentence. I have keywords because other words are going to make my search a little too fluffy. Once I've targeted those holes, I'm going to write information down in my RQ2 organizer. The more I have, the better. So keep targeting those parts that you're missing. We're going to cite all of our sources in RQ2 and in our Works Consulted page. So at the end of this video, whole group, I'm going to show you how we'll fill out that Works Consulted website page, since today we are going to be doing some internet searches. So happy research.